And in this video, we're going to go over how to use an equation to solve for missing values in a proportional relationship. In this particular instance, you still have to come up with the equation, but we're still going to get one and then use it to determine that pink box in the table that doesn't have a number. Okay, so let's read this and go from there. Viola kept track of her jogging last week. The table shows how much she ran and how long it took her. The distance she runs, represented by D, is proportional to the number of minutes she ran, represented by M. First part, write an equation that could be used to determine the distance she's run given the time. So, a couple of things to note is that it already tells you that this relationship is proportional. And you know that the distance D is proportional to the minutes that she ran, and that's represented by M. So when you write this, this means that you're going to write D over M. Okay, and I'd like to go to the table before I do anything and just make sure that I know which one is which. So it specifically told me that the distance she's run is represented by D. So I will write a D in my table right here. So that means that the minutes has to be M, and it is. So I just write that there so I don't get them confused. But I do know that I'm going to use that order to get my numbers. Okay? So I need to determine what the constant of proportionality is, which is synonymous with the unit rate. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write 1 1/4 over 6 3/4. Okay, now it should be the same for each column. So I'm not going to go ahead and use the second one. I don't need to. I can just use the first one. Okay, so if you type this in the calculator, you're going to have 1 1/4 divided by 6 3/4, and that gives you 5/27. Okay, so as you know, this is equal to D over M. Okay, so I want to get an equation from this, so I know that I'm going to do the following. Let me switch up. All right, so I'm going to multiply this by M so I can eliminate that denominator over there. And I'm going to multiply this by M. So once I do this, please note that what's going to happen is I'm going to have M over M, which is 1, and then 1 times D is just D. So what I get from that is just D. D equals 5/27 times M. So it makes sense because the distance that she has run will be determined by multiplying the number of minutes by 5/27 of a mile. So if she runs 2 miles, then she will have run 5/27 twice. I'm sorry, if she runs 2 minutes, she will have run 5/27 twice, which is 10/27. If she runs for 3 minutes, then that's going to be 5/27 three times, and that's going to be 15 over 27. So it tells you the distance based on how many minutes she has run. So that answers part A. Okay, so let me identify that. This is part A. It is done. There's my equation. Okay, so now I'm going to use this information and I'm going to look back at the table at the information that I do not have, right? So as I look at it, I know that this is D, and I'm going to replace D in my newfound equation with that value right there. So I'm going to write 1 1/2 over here, and it has to equal 5/27 times the number of minutes it takes to get there. So I don't know what that is right now, but what I need to do is I need to divide away the 5/27 from the M in order to isolate it. So what does that look like? So I'm going to divide away 5/27 from this side of the equation, but I also have to do it over here. So 1 1/2 divided by 5/27. Okay, so that allows me to eliminate the 5/27 that's next to the m. And now that tells me that m equals 1 1/2 divided by 5/27. So m is going to equal, let's put that in our calculator, and that's going to tell us what we need to know in order to solve this problem. So that equals 8 1/10 minutes, or 8.1 minutes. Okay, so in order to run 1.5 miles, Viola needs to run for 8.1 minutes. And that is the answer to that problem.